So, Elliott,
Hello.
first off, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Secondly, now normally I'll ask you a random hypothetical at the start of one of these episodes. I'm glad you do. Old age hasn't fucked you up that much yet. This time I'm just going to ask you a question because I think you'll enjoy the eventual answer. You seen where Hampus has signed?
I haven't. As a rule, I don't know where Hampus is at any given time.
Are you familiar with the Bulgarian roster 500?
Sure. I'm assuming that's not relevant to this.
No, that's where he signed.
I thought that was just a weird, well, they're playing against, I don't know, some nonsense team.
Yeah. I wish it was, because I'm quite baffled by this move, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
So,
if you'd asked me to guess, I would have guessed Inner Circle or some other team that doesn't really exist.
Well, they're now 9-2, aren't they?
I've no idea.
Probably worse. Yeah, they got everyone from 9 apart from one of them, and have Krasnal instead.
Yeah, again, it's just I don't have that much time to invest into following everything that's going on. So instead I use the TLDR newsletter. But I'm not investing any energy into finding out who's on Inner Circle. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, until they reveal themselves as masterminds of the Counter-Strike underworld.
Yeah.
You know, the deep state and whatnot. I'm not asked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Hampus is now on a team with Cirque, Red Star, Rainwaker, and a silhouette that is only named by a question mark.
Good name.
Yeah. I assume that's because they have 4 players signed to their roster and not just HLTV allowing someone to be very sneaky.
I might be tripping, but I thought Red Star was an AWPer. But Cirque is also an AWPer.
Isn't Red Star just shit?
Well, Cirque's not much better, in fairness. I seem to remember Red Star was highly rated at one point.
Didn't he almost sign for a decent enough team?
Yeah. There was a point where he was actually quite highly rated, I think,
and then didn't.
But I think he was an AWPer, but I could be
okay.
wrong.
Now I've just looked further down their profile. I know now why Hampus has signed for them. How long have you been at this team? Okay, this month. DJ Ellis, their coach.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I guess 500 an hour international team. Cool. Well, yeah, I didn't actually have many opinions about this, other than it's fucking horrible. I just wanted to share it with you.
It's sad, because Hampus used to be decent, man. He used to be decent. What happened? I know this is it happens with a lot of Counter-Strike players. Counter-Strike's very fickle. You don't stay good for very long in Counter-Strike, is what I've learned.
You used to be decent, and then you got married and had a kid.
Well, I'm probably still not much worse. Just haven't played the game in a year.
I didn't mean it the game.
Oh, I see. Right, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, play the music, Charlie. So there's another roster that we need to talk about today, Elliott, and that's Wildcard. Yeah,
do we have to?
Because Wildcard are still doing interesting things, and honestly, I think I wrote my greatest newsletter line yet talking about it. Did you see it by any chance? Have you read today's TLDR newsletter?
Not yet. I was going to read it in the morning when I had a bit more time. When the boy sleeps.
I started my story, the sending Wildcard to the glue factory, with, given her line of work, we probably shouldn't be surprised to see Wildcard co-owner Amaranth fucking something. Still, considering the recent law that was put into place in the UK, we didn't expect Counter-Strike to be where we found our content now.
Fantastic.
Which I thought was quite good.
Yeah, nice and relevant. Keep it relevant.
Thank you, mate.
Sure, that's relevant to everyone outside the UK who has no idea what you're talking about.
Everyone outside the UK isn't actually worth my time. It just happens to be the truth of the matter. Anyway, Wildcard are doing strange things again. Susp, understandably, has decided he doesn't want to be part of the team anymore.
He's going to 500.
Why would you? Probably will, yeah.
Yeah.
And they've reinstated Stanislaw.
Yeah.
But, no, but there's a but. Before you get into it, there's a but. Did you see what Kalla said in a response to Striker?
No.
So, Striker posted a tweet where he was, just saying what the hell is going on. And he replied, first they asked Fuzi to IGL as well.
I could see it. I don't know why you would do it over Stanislaw. But
look, I could see them doing it, but I don't get why.
Fuzi kind of plays like an AWP IGL anyway, if that makes sense.
But was
not in a horrible way, like just style-wise.
But was he going to rifle? Because Friend is an AWPer. They have an AWPer.
I mean, maybe. He's like... Isn't Sonic already IGLing? Or Sonic was IGLing?
He was, yeah. But with the idea that he'd do that while Friend got used to playing against better teams, which Wildcard, won't be playing because they're never going to see European shores again.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I really don't get any of it. Like, I feel like everyone eventually cut Stanislaw because...
Well, it's only right.
Yeah, I think people I think he has, like... He has, like, a year where his teams just play really well, and I think after that he seems to plateau.
For what it's worth, I don't think it was deserved this time around.
No, of course it wasn't.
Like, they're disappointed
we don't
with the major.
We don't know what's going on behind closed doors, right? Like, every other time Stanislaw's gone, it's always been, like, some drama.
I can say what I think is going on behind closed doors, but then this podcast won't be suitable to go up on YouTube, so...
We don't want to talk about... I don't mean... Let's leave her out of it.
Yeah. I mean, like, a couple of players have said some shit about the management at this point, so, like...
Yeah, like, none of these moves make any sense. Like, there's quite clearly a disconnect between reality and their management, and... It's one of those, like, a lot of people fall into this trap where, like, they think they could do a better job than, like, management. Like, it happens in real sports, happens in esports. A lot of people fall into this trap. It's like, but then you don't have all the information. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. That said, I think the average HLTV user probably would have done better than whatever Wildcard have just done. I think Taken from the TLDR Discord would have done a better job.
I think you're being generous. I'd give Taken a better shot.
Or Wildcard?
No, I'd give Taken a better shot, but the HLTV degenerates, no, I don't think so. Actually, here's a question that's, like, non-related, but sort of related. Are we allowed to say the word mongrel? Or is that offensive?
I wouldn't use it.
Would you not?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I have a good story about using that word. Well, it's not even a story. It was a good friend of mine at uni. We did student radio together, and he called me that live on air. And we went to a break. I was like, "What? You know what you just said?" He was like, "Yeah, it just means idiot, doesn't it?" Like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't just mean that.
See, I'm aware it doesn't mean that, but I'm more like, can we say it or no?
I would move away from it. If possible,
okay.
In any sort of professional capacity.
I won't say what I would have said then. But at one point it was typed out in that Wildcard story, and then I thought, no, I'll delete that and I'll change it to the word degenerates. So if you go and read the story, then you'll be able to figure out what I was going to call you instead. People that it
One thing about being a writer that people who don't write might not know is that you will write like some of your funniest stuff, but you can't publish it, so you just have to like tell people that you've written it and not actually publish it. I hopefully have an article coming out with HLTV in like the near future, where the intro I've written, there's absolutely no way HLTV will publish it, but it really made me laugh. So I had to, screenshot it and say, look, you're gonna take this intro out, but I'm still writing it.
I mean, I just remember one of the first stories I ever did for TLDR. I was writing about Rops and ZywOo being a deadly duo, and I think we ended up on Fred and Rose West being who I compared them to.
Yeah.
But originally I'd wrote Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold.
Yeah, I mean...
Which is like probably a bit too far for a lot of our readers.
Well, I think the thing is, like, Americans are more likely to take offence than the English.
Well, yeah, but if they don't want me to joke about school shootings, they should probably
stop shooting schools. Yeah, no.
Yeah, stop doing...
I know. I don't
know. I don't think it's that hard, to be honest. Like, I had some bad days at school, but I never once thought, bloody hell, a shotgun. That'd do the trick here.
Anyway, speaking of things that depress us in America, Wildcard.
Yeah.
I mean,
if Wildcard... Actually, do you know what? If
the fact we're talking about
Wildcard...
school shootings really does say a lot about what we think about this Wildcard move.
If Wildcard was a school, I might consider it. I might, at this point.
Somebody needs to put them out of their misery. This team is...
I just believe in
sad.
mercy. I'm a merciful deity.
That's not true. That is not true.
Yes,
you
it is.
You are neither merciful nor a deity.
Both of those things are true. And I
Definitely not.
I just like that you are speaking against me in such a way.
Smite me.
One day.
Move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
I've had enough
of
of Wildcard. It's just depressing.
We got a take of the week to talk about. I've fucking clicked off it again. I've got it back. No, I've got it back. I've got it back. You don't get to read this. You get to react to it. This is how we do things around here. Okay, so this comes from Anonymous Randomizer. It's actually, for once, it's not in the Counter-Strike Elitist group. I'm sure this dickhead is in the Counter-Strike Elitist group, but I haven't got it from the group. So it's a reply to a couple of tweets. So I'll set the scene. So Thorin tweeted, "Nico is naive to think this is 2023 and the scene is just weak. In any other year, Spirit, Mouse and Falcons would have won a bunch of trophies each. The problem now is they are facing possibly the best team to ever play Counter-Strike." Famous reply guy, Baller the King, probably watching this episode. Hello, mate. We mostly appreciate the fact that you're one of the few people that still gives us both interactions.
Nobody gives me interactions. I don't tweet anymore. Go on.
Well, yeah, but when you do, you can almost guarantee Baller the King will reply. But anyway, Baller said, "Also, I just think the meta is leaning firepower right now, and once a team finds a way to play without 5 players, the scene will change. 5-star players, the scene will change." Now, Baller, you're half true. You've gone a bit too far, which you tend to do.
I don't disagree.
I don't think many teams have 5-star players. I think 3.5, 4 is what they're going for, but 5 is... It's a step too far. Anyway, Anonymous Randomizer appears and says something... Do you know what? He starts it with a truth. He says Vitality doesn't have 5-star players. Now...
Right, stop. Good tweet.
Yeah, good tweet.
Good tweet. Move on.
We spoke about this before. This is good. This is true. Not sure Apex is a star, and when we say 3.5 before that half in this team is probably Messi. Is he a full star?
I think he could
not really
be if he was in a different position, but he's not in that position, so he's not really a star.
But like shift things around by 5% on each map, maybe he is a star. But he continues. He goes on and he says, in fact, they don't even have 5 players better than the 5 players on Liquid 2019 in terms of pure star power. They just have extra stuff that Liquid didn't have. And he goes even further.
Players.
Yeah. And he goes even further and says, if you can't see how Stewie and Nitro weren't leagues ahead of Messi and Apex in terms of star power, you're not a serious individual. So I hate to inform you, Elliott, but as for a man who is 37 years of age, has a wife and a child, don't care, you're not a serious individual.
I really wish I'd planned ahead and you'd seen this tweet before, because I would have like tried to find like a clown nose that I could have put on while you were reading that. I'm not a serious individual.
Any thoughts about it? Would you like to break down the take of the week?
So for a start, Liquid's main AWPer was Nitro. Yes, Stewie did a lot of AWPing. Not really relevant. ZywOo is literally better than both of them AWPing at the same time. So it just doesn't matter.
How do you view that? Do they have like two hands they now conjoined? Like
no, it's like if it was AWP India and it's ZywOo versus Nitro and Stewie, ZywOo wins like 16-10.
That's a slightly unimaginative answer. I just want you to know that. Carry on.
Yeah, I'm trying to take this tweet seriously. It deserves a serious dissection.
All right, fucking hell. Off we go.
Yeah, if you can't see how Stewie wasn't leagues ahead of Mezzi, you're not serious. I mean, Mezzi's just quite a bit better. And I say that as somebody who... I've gone back and forth on Stewie and I've landed on... He's actually pretty good. Like, he's really impactful to a team. But... We're not... Let's be serious here. Mezzi's better. Let's be serious. Come on. Come on.
Can I pause you for a second?
Yeah.
Does Stewie have... And I agree, completely impactful player, and without like his whole mindset, Liquid don't do half the things they did, and he really added a lot to the team because Taco is just inherently more boring and less versatile. Does Stewie have any iconic players from that run? Because Nitro has about 57. And like all the ones that I'm thinking could be Stewie, I'm quickly remembering were Nitro. There's a couple from Twist I remember. There's a couple from
I think I generally was quite checked out when Liquid and Astralis were going for titles. I was like, I'm just bored of this. Like, I was watching, but I was like, pretty glazed over. It was not arsed.
Well,
like,
you were having to deal with North.
Well, yeah, exactly. And
which
like,
was... It's not a fate that I wish on anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really like Liquid or Astralis, and every game was just them, and I was like, this is quite boring. So to me, none of the players were particularly iconic. But yeah, no, I don't remember any Stewie.
Well, because like...
I don't remember any Stewie play on Liquid, let's say that.
Nitro had like a few, like especially on Overpass, like...
Yeah, he was
hit those like silly ones on long.
Yeah, no, he was good at Overpass. He wasn't terrible, it's just like...
I just don't remember Stewie making any big... Like, he obviously made, like, impactful plays, so I don't think he made, like, big,
he was very much a sacrificial lamb on that team, wasn't he? Like, he was... often thrown to the wolves. But... Come on. Mezzi's just... Like, Mezzi does everything Stewie does, but he is also, like, capable of carrying from a passive role as well. Like... Mezzi has more games where he outright is the best player in the server than Stewie does, and I think he's just as good, if not better, at the going in first, supportive style. I know supportive's a bit of a dangerous word to capture, but the non-star roles, I think he's equal to Stewie, and I think he's just miles better when you actually need him to carry.
No, I agree.
And then Nitro versus Apex, fine. Like, okay,
I'll have a conversation about that.
Yeah, I think Apex might be marginally better, but I also don't think Apex could AWP on a top team and be like decent, whereas Nitro did. So I'll give you Nitro.
I think sustained period Apex has been better, but when you're talking about Liquid 2019, you are really talking about that run.
Yeah,
and Nitro was like, he was pretty fucking good in that run.
Yeah, he was good.
Like he was pretty good tactically. He was solid, and on an individual basis he was doing a lot more than other players.
He was pretty good. Vitality's AWPer is ZywOo. It doesn't matter. Like,
no, I agree.
None of this matters. Vitality's AWPer was ZywOo. Their star players are Rops and
who?
Yeah, well, quite Rops and Flames. Like, whatever you think of NaVi, he ain't Rops.
Yeah, no, he's not. And you know me.
Elysian Flames, like whatever.
enough
Like,
fan.
you know, again, like, that could be either way. But like the difference between Mezzy and Stewie, the difference between ZywOo and literally anyone you want to pick on Liquid, and the difference between Rops and NaF is like catastrophic. Liquid are not winning that.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not ever. I mean, like, the way they played in a couple of those games, it probably pushed them a lot closer than a lot of teams have this year.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
Yeah,
Let's
like,
be
do
real.
you think Liquid... Okay, if we had Liquid 2019 now, where in the world would they be? Would they be better than Spirit and Mouse?
I think at bare minimum, they'd be top 5.
Yeah, that would be my sort of... I was thinking like 3rd, 4th. I don't think they're better than
Yeah,
Spirit.
yeah. No, I don't think they'd be 5th.
Yeah,
But I'm not sure whether they'd be 3rd or 4th.
Are they better than Mouse and Mongols? It's probably quite close.
I'd say Mongols, they trade series back and forth. Just who has a better day. Mouse would probably be like 70-30 Mouse.
Yeah.
And Vitality's like 90-10.
Yeah, Vitality beat everyone. You aren't special.
Yeah, so like they're 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was kind of my gut feeling as well.
Because I'm not overly high on Spirit at the moment, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
No, but like when you're a team who's so reliant on your rifles, Donk is gonna just sort of, you know, give you some new intestines.
Perhaps.
Like you just need a great AWPer to deal with Donk most of the time.
Just before we move on, because we said about Liquid 2019, Astralis 2018, 2019.
Yep.
Where would they be today?
Where are Astralis now?
15th?
I don't.
So far?
I don't.
that
Yeah,
where
I
they
mean,
are
I
now?
don't. Honestly, I. Whilst that team was amazing for the time, I don't think
Oh, right,
if you
they're 6th now.
if you transported them, their 2018 form into 2025, I don't think they do much better than
No, but
Astralis. I know
but
that's
it's-
insane, but I
But it's funny, isn't it, right? Because I don't think, and the Liquid players will tell you this themselves, 2019 Liquid was not better than 2019 Astralis. Even during their run, they just dodged them a lot.
Yeah.
They only ever like beat them once or twice if you include that like what was it? Was it iBuyPower tournament or something like that? Didn't Liquid win that one? So Astralis were the better team.
Oh yeah, they were.
But if you put them into today's game, Astralis are probably a top 10 team, whereas Liquid we've both said are a top 5 team.
Yeah, I'd stand by it. Astralis'
I mean, maybe
advantages were about how far ahead of the meta they were. The meta has caught up.
Yeah, maybe we're underrating some of their star power a bit. Like Magisk, Dupree, Device is an incredible star trio.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really is, and Glaive
pretty good.
himself was unreal at that point. But there's just you just get that like little feeling, don't you, that they just wouldn't
Yeah,
transfer
say, like, oh,
to another
that-
time as well.
you say like, oh, that's an amazing star trio. NaF, Nerds, Twist is the trio on the 18th best team in the world at the moment. Teams outside the top 10
Yeah,
did not have
okay.
trios like that back then. Like they just didn't.
Okay, yes, but Nerds has been fucking awful on Liquid.
Yeah, I know, fine. But like even when Nerds was good, this team was no higher than like 12th. So like teams
Yeah.
are just like the problem back then was that nobody knew how to play like Astralis. Everyone plays like Astralis now, and so you sort of like Astralis is sort of going head to head with teams who are like just more gifted than them. I really believe that. Like, do you know what? If you put 2018 Astralis into the current day, they'd be 3D Max.
No, that's too far for me, I'm afraid. That is too far for me.
Maybe Gamer Legion.
No,
Because-
they'd absolutely be top 5. I'm just not sure, like... If you look at the
Astralis,
current
yeah,
top
they'd be
5...
top five.
Yeah, top 10, sorry. they'd absolutely be top 10, but if you look at the current top 5 of Vitality, Mouse, Spirit, Mongols, Falcons, I'm not sure how many times they beat any of them.
They could beat Falcons. They could beat Spirit. Like they would win through, like, they've got stylistic matchups that are advantageous, like against the sort of looser teams who was reliant on stars. Like Astralis were very good at shutting down stars, but like you can shut down ZywOo and still get 13 forward by Vitality. Like you can shut down, like one player on Mouse. It just does, like they've got 3 others who can carry the game.
I think their best chance would be against the Mongols.
No, I think their best chance is against Falcons or Spirit. I think they would probably be like a real problem for Spirit.
Maybe, but
they actually would shut down Donk.
The Mongols are a bit limited in terms of their fundamentals, and that's something that Astralis probably would punish.
I don't know. I think the Mongols are being quite handily, to be honest.
Well, fair enough. It is strange though how we just both agree Liquid would be better.
I think they are. Like, some things, even though they weren't better at the time, just age better. I mean, this is common in all sorts of things. Like,
yeah. Should we talk about Cologne?
What? Cologne's on?
Apparently.
Well, I missed that.
Yeah, me too. But, you know, it happened, so let's talk about it. Let's start with Stage 1. There's a couple of teams that we're not going to mention at all. Without saying their name out loud, I'm sure you can guess one of them. There's a green and yellow flag next to their name. But very quickly, Virtus Pro and Complexity, both teams just need to disband.
Virtus Pro need to just sort of bring back Jane, and they might be all right.
Well, get rid of IC, get rid of Electronic. There's a start.
Yeah, bring in Jame and Norbert.
I don't hate it. I still don't like it. Complexity, though, absolutely atrocious team. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, they need to bring in Jame and Norbert. No, I don't even know what you do with Complexity. Like, the team's just DOA.
Well, I just think, like, considering the money troubles M80 are supposedly having, why are you not lobbing money at M80 to at least, you know, try with M80's better players? But
yeah,
what do I know?
Have a go.
Moving a little further up the elimination chain. TYLOO, pretty sad. Not overly concerned for them, though. I feel like, and this is rare for me because I don't allow for a lot of things, I feel like I can allow for some complacency in Cologne, considering what they did at Fisher Playground. Like, they just won $1 million event, for fuck's sake, and dogged on Astralis in the final.
Yeah.
They ain't playing to the best of their ability.
Yeah, it's a bit after the Lord Mayor's show. And also, like, good teams lose the 3D Max. Like, 3D Max are such a stylistic. They're particularly difficult for a team like TYLOO, who are very individual based. Like, 3D Max are a really difficult team to play against. You actually have to. They're sort of like the modern version of Big or VP, where it's like a complete. You're playing a different game when you play against them, and you have to really grind them out and actually play the game on their terms and be better than them. I don't think TYLOO yet are capable of playing against a team like that.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think 3D Max are any good, for what it's worth.
I think they're still as good as they've always been.
They're in that gatekeeper position. I don't care for that position. But, yeah, it's a hard game for TYLOO either way. Do you want my positive one next or my negative one next? I'll let you
Let's
pick.
get all the negatives out of the way.
Pain. Bit of a concern for Pain. I don't know if they set the bar too high in Austin, but this is too, like, disappointing exits now to start the season. And
this is what Pain do. Pain get your hopes up and then dash them. They do it all the time. Yeah,
but I feel like this is, you know, at least on paper with their signings, this is the best Pain roster there's been, and still it keeps happening. And I'm not really sure what the answer for it is.
Yeah, I've stopped getting excited for Pain because this seems to just keep happening.
Yeah,
and it frustrates me because I really want to like Pain, but they just will keep letting you down.
Yeah, they're a fun team, but it's just...
Yeah, like, unfortunately they don't have the stones to be a really, really good team. Like, they just don't have the ball for it. And the pressure's on, they just crumble every time.
I wasn't going to mention them as well, but B8 going out dead last. I know they had a couple difficult games. Well, I say Astralis is a hard game, and they did get battered on map 1.
I don't know. B8, they lost to FlyQuest. Like, let's not beat around.
Okay, yeah, but FlyQuest are on my positives list. No. They look better with JKS. Like, the firepower issue that was there, I'm not sure it's there anymore. Like, Netic has been a big upgrade to them. JKS is a huge upgrade over Liaz. I wouldn't be surprised to see FlyQuest, like, by the time we get to the major. They're currently 31st VRS. They'll be... At minimum, they'll be, like, 20th. I think 15th isn't out of the question.
I do.
And that's a fucking good place to be for FlyQuest. Like, that's a very good place to be.
So you just called 3D Max rubbish for being 12th?
Yeah. I didn't say they were good. I just said that's a good place to be.
Yeah, I know, but it's like...
For them, it's a good place to be. For 3D Max on board.
See, I don't really agree, but then actually I've looked who's like in the 15th to 20th bracket, and it's like, yeah, no, all these teams are beatable.
Yeah, that's the thing. You go to say it and you're like, nah, surely not. And then you look at the teams above them. I mean, what the fuck's a TNL? Fnatic? Like, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about.
So, for context, before we went live, Sam told me I've got 3 things I want to talk about, but I can't remember what one of them is. It's going to really annoy me when we get in, and he's just had his epiphany. I told him it normally happens 45 minutes into a recording, so I was 12 minutes out.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that at the end because they've actually announced it since we started recording. But yeah, Fnatic, like, not being funny. This Fnatic team has been interesting. Iberian Soul, get a fucking grip. Ecstatic, I repeat my statement. B8, apparently they're shit. Saw they've had their one good event, they'll disappear now.
Who the hell is crazy with a K? That one of the worst names I've ever seen. Sorry, carry on.
They signed him and Aragon from...
Aragon, yeah, I don't mind that, that's fine.
Rhino, apparently. MIBR, fucking wank. Bet Boom, fucking wank. Legacy, fucking wank. Liquid.
Hang on.
Listen,
Legacy did alright at the one event they went to.
We all liked him out, but let's not fuck about. Liquid, we'll see. Complexity, shit. FlyQuest would beat Complexity.
Yeah, I mean, there are very few teams I wouldn't back against Complexity.
Have 4 more kids in the next 4 years, and they'll beat Complexity.
Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe don't actually do that. She don't need to go through that, and neither do the rest of us, actually. Nip.
And by that, you don't mean the pregnancy part. Carry on. Move on.
Okay. Nip actually would beat them. Nip look solid.
Yeah, Nip are obviously better.
Heroic. I don't know what to think of Heroic. We'll talk about them in a minute. VP.
They're still better than FlyQuest.
VP are fucking useless. Pain, yeah, current Pain, they beat. Lin Vision. Lin Vision will dip. And then you get to 15th. And you're like...
They don't beat Pain.
I think they would right now.
No, they don't beat Pain.
I think they would right now. I don't think Pain's very good at all right now.
I don't think Pain are great. But they're better than FlyQuest. It's FlyQuest. Lads, it's FlyQuest. Pain lost to Astralis and Liquid. They're not going to write them off that. Like, okay, FlyQuest lost to Fury and Liquid. Like, neither team are complete write-offs, but like, come on.
I don't know, man. Just got a feeling. So heroic though. Talk about heroic now. Big win bringing in Grix because he seems more stable than Kersey. Nilo, little bit disappointed.
Yeah, given they had to wait so long to get him in the team, it's like unfortunately, like absence makes the standards grow higher, and yeah, he kind of isn't living up to.
Well, not even just that. I mean, like he was really impressive on Metasport. It was like really disappointing when he couldn't come into the roster, and then they had Xflowered who was really good for them, and they've benched him for Nilo, and I'm sure they paid a decent sum of money for Nilo.
They did, yeah.
But I don't think the way he's playing right now, I really don't think I'd give him very long at all before just bringing Xfloud back in.
No, well, yeah, same. But they clearly they invested in Nilo. They think he's the guy for them. He's still very new in this team. Like he's finding his feet. That's the problem. Is that like the rest of the team got to all like grind together for a bit. He's had to sit on the sidelines. I think he had like problems, right? He probably hasn't played that.
I don't think they've actually said.
Yeah. So like
I'm not asked anyway.
No. But my point is, it's quite possible he hasn't really been able to play as much as he wanted to in the last few months, and he's probably still getting up to match speed. I'd give him a little longer.
It's also one of those things where I don't claim to have watched a lot of Nilo play because I'm very big on not watching bad online Counter-Strike. But considering that he was signed and then wasn't in the team, and Tanier was signed, I imagine Nilo isn't fully comfortable with his spots.
Yeah, there's also that, right? Like,
so maybe that's the thing. But again, right, like from what I was hearing, there was a lot of interest in Tanier over the break, and I know that Grix only joined because of Tanier, but like, would it not be better off to cash in on Tanier while his stock is high, and then just have Xfloud and Nilo? And actually give Nilo a fighting chance, because like, I'm not overly cutthroat with young players. I think it's worth giving them 6 months to improve or whatnot. But a lot of teams don't actually have someone like Xfloud just sat on the bench doing nothing, because he was legitimately good, and I just don't think, especially with how VRS is, I don't think it's worth falling down the ladder.
But then you can make that same argument about selling Tanier, right? Like, you don't want to fall down the ladder, so you don't want to sell him.
Yeah, but I mean more in terms of like falling down the ladder just to see if Nilo works. If it's actually that much of a concern, just fuck him off somewhere for the rest of the year. Like, just there'll be plenty of teams that would jump at the chance to have him. I'm sure 500 with their new Swedish IGL would love to have a Swedish star as well. Just ship him there.
I don't know if they've got the money for that.
I don't care.
I think Heroic probably do.
You send him to Ents. No, they don't have any money.
No, that's the problem. The problem is they spent money on Nilo, and they're not going to get money back for him.
Well, how much could they have spent though? Really, from a Metasport contract?
From what I remember, it was quite a decent fee, because they just got the money from selling their to Falcons, right? And it was a last minute deal, so they probably had to overpay as well.
Yeah, I guess.
Like there wouldn't have been any. They had like an hour. There's no way they were negotiating.
Yeah.
They clicked the buy now button.
Okay, well, the only other thing I had left to say in Stage 1, and it's technically Stage 2 as well because they've beaten them today, Nip looked really solid. Yeah. Like, really good. I mean, like, it's a shame that John Sweetrice didn't work out for them, but John McAfee is... He's pretty solid. He's the firepower upgrade that they needed to probably take it to the next level.
He's one of those players who sort of came out of FPL and you don't know what to expect. Like, it can go one of two ways. They can either be firepower and nothing else, or there's like, they're just like a normal player but with more firepower, which is what he is. Like, he's more brokey than BMAS.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think even with Arostos, like, they were going to climb anyway. But their ceiling now is a lot higher than it was before.
he also massively lowers their average age. That was an old team. And he's a kid.
Yeah. But
He's
so
like half of Snappy's age.
I wouldn't be overly surprised to see Nip break into the top 10 at least once this year.
It feels like they should. They have everything in place. And they also have probably a top 10 IGL still.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a big part of it.
I mean, like, you look at top 10 VRS right now, Astralis will drop. Aurora, I'm still expecting to drop without Anubis in the map pool. FaZe, let's see how they can do over a consistent period of time. TYLOO, as much as I love them, you ain't staying in the top 10 for very long. Furia, I actually think Furia might have some stopping power.
Yeah, we'll get onto them.
NaVi, we'll get onto. G2 could go up. Gamer Legion, I doubt. And when you look at the other teams around, Nip is the only ones I really expect to climb.
Yeah,
so I think there is a spot for them in the top 10.
Definitely. I do 100% agree. They look like a very good team. They got one of the best IGLs still. Man for man, feels like they can go head to head with anyone outside the top 5. I don't see any reason they can't be like the 8th best team in the world. Yeah. We said that from inception as well. Though. It's just taken this long for them to get there because of the VRS system.
Yeah. So I guess we are like kind of moving into stage 2 now, but is there any stage 1 things that we haven't spoken about that you'd like to quickly touch on?
Yeah, stop inviting big and MIBR to events.
We weren't meant to say their names, man. For fuck's sake. Right, stage 2. Stage 2. So, the actual real teams have arrived. And again, there's a few I don't want to talk about. It's not because they're bad like with stage 1, it's just because they're actually just
the opposite most
quite
of the time.
good. Mouse Vitality, the Mongols, there's no need to talk about them. No need. Aurora, pretty much the same boat. They're not playing with Santares.
Like nothing they do here really makes any difference to how we think about them.
Yeah, I've already said my prediction about how I think they'll struggle a lot more without Anubis.
Seems reasonable.
They've played 2 maps. We'll talk about it more in the future.
They're currently 6-0 down to Spirit.
Oh, are they? Are they playing right now?
Yeah. They're playing right now. They're 6-0 down.
Astralis. I want to talk about Astralis.
Yeah, rubbish.
Astralis look so much better with Hooksy. So much better. But their floor is still just so fucking low.
Yeah.
Like, how can... this is what I still don't understand, though. Because Cadian has been wanked for a while. And maybe it was just Tessas and Shush, right? But even that feels like a degree of a cop-out.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have, like, Stown and Yabby on your team? How do you have Device? How do you have Hooksy,
group stages,
who's a reasonably good IGL? Like, he's actually a pretty good IGL. Stare, I'm not. I've never been high on Stare. I don't get Stare.
No, he's fine, but I don't. Not asked.
But how do you have this and have such a low floor that when it goes badly for you, you are just fucking appalling? Like, they got absolutely fucking reamed by Furia.
They did get just arsehole. Like, it's just... And the thing is, you can't even blame Hooksy because this is multiple IGLs, multiple iterations of this, right? Like, there's no individual that you can even blame because this just happened over multiple different rosters. Like, the ship of Thesis has been rebuilt and it's still sinking. Like, they spent so much money and pissed everyone off to build this team, and it's not even better than like Heroic, who they sold all the players off. Like, would you rather be in Heroic's position or Astralis's right now? I'd rather be in Heroic's.
I just don't even get it at this point, though. Because sometimes you watch them and it's like, okay, this is a team that's starting to form. Like, they're actually beginning to look like they're getting back somewhere. They should be top 10 soon. And then they do this. And it's just like... I don't know who to blame anymore. And it's like I said earlier, like... I think just saying, like, oh, it's because Tessas and Shush were the really stable ones on Heroic and they're the pieces that you need and all that bullshit. Sure, fine, okay. That's fine. But it does, like, at this point, it feels like a cop-out because Tessas has evolved into something he wasn't back then, and Shush kind of has on Nip as well. And even then, they were only the stable pieces because they were in an AWP IGL system, which fundamentally changes how the riflers work and what riflers can be on the team. Yeah. So I just don't get it.
I think Heroic was just a perfect storm. Like, it was just... They had all 5 players playing at their absolute peak. They had a system that nobody else was playing that hadn't really been figured out. And it was, like, at the end of CSGO as well, where, like, they didn't really adapt. If I remember rightly, like, Acadian really struggled at the start of CS2. And he's never really
he struggled throughout it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, quite. But, like, the start of CS2, he was really stinky. And I think he just hasn't adapted to CS2 at all, and he was such a key part of that system. You say the system only works with an AWP IGL, which they don't have. Stown only ever looked good in that one team. Like, realistically, like he has never been as good outside of it. I think fundamentally, what we talked about earlier with Anonymous Randomizer, like most teams have like 3.5 star players. Astralis have like 2.5.
I think that's generous. I really do think that's generous.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of being nice.
I'd say 2. And...
2, but that's one player made up of 2 halves.
Yeah.
Like they don't. I mean, in the game they went out, Hooksy was their highest rated player.
He was also their best player in the final they lost against TYLOO.
Yeah, it just shouldn't happen. Like, how do you have Stown and Yavi and you're going out in group stages? That's the worry. It's not even on stage. Like, if it's on stage, you go, yeah, Stown's always had this problem. This isn't even on stage. Like,
but it's also at the point where it's like, I don't know what you do to this fucking team. All right, okay, we all know Tessa's time on Falcons is running out, so you absolutely have to get him.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you get rid of? Stare. When Stare is bad, he is fucking woeful. Like, he's awful on a bad day. There aren't many players that have a bad day like Stare does.
Borup.
Well,
when Borup has a bad day, everything goes. Like, I feel so bad when he has a bad day. It's like, you just have those days where just nothing goes for you. Like you go to make cereal, you drop your bowl on the floor. You go to pick it up, you get a cut on the glass, on the porcelain.
Yeah, but when I have those days,
this happens to Borup.
They do not coincide with Borup's bad days. When Borup has a bad day, the leprechaun just brings me the pot of gold from the end of the rainbow. Like, he wants me to have it.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic day. And Borup, this isn't even because I don't like you, mate. You're not listening to this. I don't know why I'm fucking saying this like this. I think you're fucking excellent. You provide humour like no other Counter-Strike professional ever has.
Genuinely, I watched him. I think was it Cologne a few years ago. He had probably the most unfortunate game I've ever seen.
What was it? Was it semi-final? Semi-final against G2, so. I believe.
Yeah. Blame F was calling, and Blame F just kept sending him to his death. And then, he would occasionally get a lurk, a passive lurk roll, and he would watch something for a minute. He'd turn around, and 3 players would walk out. He was so unlucky. I've never seen anything like it. And
I think that's we've had a lot of times where we've been in stitches. That's up there. That entire it was ancient, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that entire map was up there. We were just pissing ourselves once around.
It was Blame F would flash him into cave. And there'd be 3 players there, and 2 of them would be flash, and the third one would just immediately headshot him, and then his teammate would clean up with all 3. I just feel so bad for him. But getting back to the point, if you cut Stare for Tessas, it improves the team. But I don't think it moves the needle that much.
Yeah, but I don't think I think it's got to be Stown or Yabi. It has, and probably Stown. Stown is the real disappointment. He's meant to be your 1.2 rated star, and what is
he
it?
Just isn't.
But actually, what is it? Because it can't be impressive. It's going to be higher than I think it is, but it can't be impressive.
It'd be 1.11 or something.
Last month, 1.06. They've made a final in the last month. It's 1.06, which actually that's about what I thought it would be. That's not even higher than I thought it would be. If you look last 3 months, that is 1.11. Good guess from you. Stown can't be going 1.06. That's not okay.
No. They have to be not Danish. It's the only way forward. They have to go international.
I agree, because, like, okay, you sign Tesses. You get better from Tesses. You've still got a very obvious ceiling.
Yeah.
Where'd you go then? Who'd you get then? Who isn't a bum and not in your team?
It's absolutely insane that we're talking about the fact that a national Danish team can't really break top 10. Like, how did we get here? What happened?
I don't even think it's that insane.
No, but it would have been 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
No, but like...
Certainly 7 years ago.
Okay, yeah, it might have been hard to predict back then. But if you look at how Counter-Strike has evolved and become so firepower heavy, and then you look at these Danish teams back then, okay, Dupree and Magis had a great amount of firepower. Were either of them actually individually the best in their roles?
In their role, you could argue Dupree was definitely up there. I honestly...
they were both up there.
Dupree was so...
But Dupree was contending with names like Nico and Electronic, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was up there. But I think everyone would pretty much agree. I know you've got your thing with Dupree. But I think everyone would pretty much agree that...
I also have a thing against it. I've never been a massive fan of Electronic, and I'm not really sure why.
I respect that.
Just always had a thing
I didn't know that
Electronic.
about you. I like it.
Yeah. If you go back to see some of my really old tweets, there's one, like... I remember there was a meme where it was just like... I can't remember what it is, but I basically called Electronic a bot. And people go, why do you not rate Electronic? I could not tell you. There's just something about him. I just found him a really frustrating player to watch.
No, I think that's very valid. But as a general consensus is that those two would be higher than Dupree and Magisk. God, that was many years ago, and I can't really remember at the time. Maybe Magisk was considered to be the best in his roles.
Oh yeah, I think he was.
He probably was.
He was also coming off the back of that absolute like scorching he did to NA Optic, which is like,
yeah.
I genuinely don't think I've ever seen a player be so dominant as he was on Optic.
Well, and like Device was obviously a top 2 AWPer as well, and outside of Astralis, Glaive was good. Zipnik,
Glaive was fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's not.
But outside of Astralis, Valde and Config.
Yeah, AZ.
Like there were players that were but okay. Like AZ's a great example, right? I was going to say Gade.
AZ was better than Gade.
Yeah, no, he was.
Yeah,
but what I mean is that there are players below Config and Valde outside of Astralis that clearly had like mechanical skill. But for someone like Gade, AZ a little different. But for someone like Gade, it's like mechanical skill on the same level as Keto. Where occasionally you're going to have one of these games where you just shit on people because you're hitting heads all the time. You're not actually good.
I think Gade was actually cursed with being Danish. I think he was on North and Big. I think he was actually really gifted. Like, he was really gifted. But you're never going to see a player like that flourish when he plays for North and then...
Well, maybe. But anyway, my point being, Denmark never really was gifted with the firepower of, like, other nations. And I know a lot of it's been, like, these smaller nations that has one gifted player going into a team and all that. But thing. I don't think... And it goes lower down the chain, right? Like, I've spoken about this in interviews with Pimp and with Bubsky and, like, all these high-level Danish figures. They know it as well. They don't have the firepower in their nation that the other nations have. They just have fucking solid fundamental Counter-Strike that everyone wants to play. That ain't suitable for modern Counter-Strike.
My take is that they do and have always had that firepower. They just don't know what to do with those sort of players. Like, they didn't know what to do with a player like Config. They don't know what to do with these sort of, like, what I would call mercurial talents. Like, they because of the way Danes play Counter-Strike, they sort of morph these otherwise talented players into system players, and that ends up sort of neutering them as a player, but makes the team better. I think there's loads of really incredibly talented Danish players. I think just culturally, the way they play the game sort of rounds off those edges, as it were. Like, Simple wouldn't come out of Denmark. They would turn him into Device.
Or Zybu, yeah. Like, it's... No, I agree with that, but this is what I mean. Like, with how Counter-Strike has gone, I just don't think Denmark is suited for it. And I'm not sure...
Which is just wild to think.
And I'm not sure that will change either, because a face-it game against a Danish stack, you get a couple more people that rely more on their aim now.
Yeah.
There are a couple. But they still play exactly the same. You have a hard time on the CT side. Maybe, yeah, but like you always have a hard time on the CT side against a Danish stack because, you know, they've got 1,000,001 executes that they've practiced in the after-school club. And that's hard to deal with.
It's not even a joke. They actually have after-school esports clubs in Denmark. It's not even a joke.
But then you go onto the T side, you don't even need your executes. You just shit on them because you aim better than them. Like it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Astralis.
Go back to after-school class.
Yeah. Because I don't know where you're going to be in 6 months' time. But you will not be 6th, which is where you are right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Falcons. Let's rattle off the last few teams.
Yeah, because we're nearly an hour in. And
there's some new ones. Falcons, Kaisuke, predictably, is just really good. Team itself, not so good. It's almost like right? They are missing a player.
Monacy's the worry, though, isn't he? Like, he's just doesn't look the same player as he did this time last year. And he's still good, don't get me wrong, but like...
No, I agree.
He there's something off about him. And
I agree, but at the same time, like, the Falcons are just so far doing exactly what I thought Falcons would do. You can't bring Kaisuke into this team without making another change. It's just not... It's not doable. It's not something that will ever work. So, until Tesses goes, I just don't think Falcons are going to be very good at all.
Yeah, I mean, which is, again, again seems weird to say, because it feels like Tesses should be a really good piece to have around these stars, but it just doesn't work at all.
But it's just too much aggression, isn't it? They need a gym fat or a bit, or...
Everyone needs a gym fat, you know.
Sure, but they need that kind of player just to balance their team back out.
Yeah, they do. They need
Talking quickly about the other two young stars that have come into teams. Makazi, he seems decent enough.
Yeah.
NaVi themselves are a bit odd, though, aren't they? Because there was a game
before we went live. I said it doesn't feel like it feels like every map NaVi plays has absolutely no bearing on the next or the previous one. They're like sitcom episodes.
Yeah, because so for context, when we started recording this episode, it was just after map 1 of NaVi Mouse. Now, if you didn't watch that or you haven't seen the scoreboard, the Mouse scoreboard looks perfectly normal. We'll get Charlie to put it up on screen. The Mouse scoreboard looks fine. It looks normal. You know, Torsi's on top, Jim Fat's fragging, everyone else is doing their shit. The NaVi scoreboard, Imma has 30 kills, 20 deaths, and a 1.9 rating. And if you add up the kills from the rest of the team, you do not equal 30.
Do you know what the insane thing is? Imma has the most deaths. Like, he's not baiting.
Yeah.
How do you get 30 and 20, and everyone else has died less than you and doesn't even add up to your kills? Like, what is everyone else doing? I genuinely, like, how... I don't understand how you can be aggressive and have a 1.9 rating.
No, I know that
nobody else frags.
I know that games like these, you know, they tend to typically be anomalies. Like, if you look at the next map, Wonderful top fragged, Imma was still good. The other three didn't do as well. Mouse things. And I know you're meant to generally discard anomalies, but this is a fucking worrying one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like, this is one that's hard to look past. And I said it a couple of weeks ago when me and Jack did the Rostermania recap. It still feels like this NaVi team is just like, it's a walking corpse.
Do you want a good stat from that map?
Go on.
If you take any round at random, there's over a 1 in 3 chance that Imma got the opening kill in it. There were 23 rounds, Imma got 8 first kills.
That's quite good.
NaVi lost 13-10. Like, he literally... He can't do any more than this. What is he supposed to do? This is an unbelievable performance. This should be a carry job, and nobody else is even close.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous performance, and everyone else has shit the bed.
Speaking of shitting the bed, Zwei, I don't know how you want to say it, how it's meant to be said. I prefer Zwei.
Yeah.
I feel like it sounds better.
It's probably Zwei, really, but
he started a bit slow, hasn't he?
Yeah, but
I don't know how he's doing in their game currently.
I'll have a quick look for you.
He's 7 and 8. Donk is 10 and 9, the only player above him. He was really impressive at the major.
Yeah, you've got to give him time. He's so young.
And you've got to give him time. I agree, you've got to give him time. But I'm starting to get a feeling, and I don't think it's necessarily because of Donk, I don't think it's necessarily because of Shiro. I'd be more willing to put the blame on Chopper or Hallie.
Bit of a cursed chalice.
Yeah. I have a feeling there might only be room for 2 players on Spirit, and I think that might be what ultimately ends up holding Spirit back.
Yeah, I don't think that's unfair.
Of course, it could be a thing. You get rid of Chopper, you get rid of Hallie, and it happens anyway because Donk is just Donk, and Shiro's
Donk
also
require a lot of space, I think. But yes.
Very good. But I feel like other teams manage just a little bit better. Like I feel like if you go back to like G2, like peak G2 or whatever, which is probably the only team you can compare because you have Nico and Malbs and even before Malbs, but you have Munisi as well. You have these players that have space. It feels like that should be the model, and it feels like it proves that the model is doable.
Yeah, no, I do agree. Like it should be doable, but then maybe this is a different. Like maybe Donk and Shiro are just uniquely difficult to play out. I mean, I feel like Gambit had similar problems where, like with Shiro, it's like they had Shiro and Axile, but they never really had that third star. Like they never really had a consistent third man. Like they always felt like. I think Donk and Shiro do take up a lot of space, and I know that other teams have players who also take up a lot of space. But I think with Donk, you have to give him as much space as he needs because he's so destructive that you just have to like almost Hail Mary, like just give him what he wants.
Yeah, but as we've seen, that isn't actually conducive to being the best team in the world consistently, is it?
No, but they did win a major.
They did, but I also, I'm always struck by Spirit that 1 isn't enough. I've said for a while, I don't think Donk will have a long career.
No.
I really don't. Like, I think by 23 he's fucking out of here. If that, just won't be asked anymore. But
that is like 7 years.
Yeah, but when you compare it to someone like
long.
Nico.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's something to keep an eye on with Spirit because I'm already thinking that we won't see them back on top at least this year. Not without a crazy like peak performance coming out of Zontix, Chopper or Uzwy, like one where they are just completely overshooting all their metrics.
Just for magics.
Yeah, just quickly before we leave Cologne then and we quickly talk about the fnatic thing. G2 looks solid enough. I've said before, I think they won Rostermania. I really think they did good business. I think it's going to take some time though for it to actually be like noticeable in terms of that's a result you're impressed by.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean they've only lost the vitality so far. It's really hard to criticise at all.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, there was rumours they were going to get Nertz or X-Kaspersky, or the fuck you actually say his name, because I dodged it earlier to make the antivirus joke.
Yeah, Kaspersky, I would assume. But
yeah, and Mattis. I think they probably landed on the best one for their team.
Mattis was a nice pickup. That was a clever one. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think Nertz could have been very good, but if you got liquid Nertz, it would have been fucking horrible.
Yeah.
So
it's a gamble, but it's like one with high upside. Mattis,
Yeah.
I think, is weirdly like more reliable, and I kind of think G2 needed that a little bit.
But also, like, any concern about Hunter IGLing, when you remember that he's stepping into that role with Saw as his coach, you do just worry about it a lot less.
Yeah.
Like, Saw as well.
And
such
when
a
the
big
previous one was Snacks with Taz, so it's like,
Yeah, I mean, it ain't going to take much to be better than that.
It's
is it?
fine. It's going to be fine.
And finally, then, Liquid, maybe marginally better, still entirely underwhelming.
Yeah, essentially.
How long before we're back in the same place?
Like, we're already in the same place.
We're marginally better.
They're probably going to go out 0-2 here because they're playing FaZe and,
Well,
they're in trouble.
Yeah, but I think a couple months ago wouldn't have had them to make it out the play-in.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, fine.
Okay, so as an actual thing to leave Cologne on, I guess we both think Vitality are winning it.
Yeah, it's like, it is the boring choice, but who the hell else are you going to pick?
Who plays them in the final?
Mouse. Again, boring, but like...
Actually, do you know what? Now I've looked at it, I'm changing my... Mouse are going to win Cologne. Change my mind.
Vitality are going to win it.
No. Mouse are going to win at some point. It's going to be in Cologne. And finally then, because I don't want to explain it any further, CYPHER has joined Fnatic.
Yeah. I mean, like...
Any thoughts?
CYPHER had to make, like... You get a brief window in Counter-Strike when you have you won like lightning in a bottle performance. You have a brief window to capitalize, and you have to do it like you have to make that choice and not join doomed tier 2 mix rosters, which he sadly did not do, and has probably torpedoed his career to the point where he has to join Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean it's been a string of questionable things for CYPHER, and not all of them are his fault, to be fair to him. And I actually think this Fnatic team has a mild chance. I interviewed BlameF the other day, and I did say to him then, like, he's kind of a perfect player for BlameF.
Yeah, he's pretty selfless and pretty aggressive.
So that could be really good. But again, I just don't see... Sadly, I just don't see Fnatic climbing in the same way Nip has.
No.
It doesn't feel realistic to me.
No, CYPHER's done that gauntlet run of, like, teams you'd expect, like, ships to join. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's done TSM and Bleed back to back. It's like
BC.Game. Like,
BC.Game.
I'm still confused what a BC.Game even is.
The only reason I know who they were is because Guardian was their coach, and then they signed a bunch of like actually cool players. They had like Lekro and Norg for a bit.
And they also got Guardian out of retirement for a little bit.
Yeah, which is also cool. You know, I'm a BC.Game fan. Putting it out there.
Well,
they're currently next to Assassinito and Prime Tap, so I'm taking it back.
It's not unlike you to support a shit team.
Oy.
Anyway, that's it for this week. It's been nice having you around again, Elliott. We don't get to speak with words very often anymore. Normally it's just imitating grunts on Discord.
And even that's rare.
Yeah.
I'm very busy at the moment, job searching and looking after the little boy.
Have you considered selling your arse?
I don't have one left.
Ooh. Oh dear. Right, well,
I already sold it.
on that note, I'm Sam at Animo CS2. There's a 1 and a 2. He's Elliott at AZS. RCS or rather lack of RCS. My favourite Pokemon, by the way. And
Cringe pick.
I'll be back next week. It's not actually, but it just sounded. Anyway, I'll be back next week. Elliott will, I don't know, not, but who knows what he'll be doing. Perhaps on a street corner with his breasts flapping in the wind. Yeah, I'll be talking about whoever won Cologne, I imagine. So,
Vitality.
Probably. See you in the next one.